Hello and welcome to the Powerfully You show. This show is about rising and ruling, rising into your power and ruling your mind, sinking and swimming, sinking into your heart space and swimming in the river of life. I'm your host, Mireille Parker, and I am a writer, transformational coach, and speaker and teacher. And I am doing something a bit different today where I'm live streaming this on YouTube, recording it as a podcast and seeing how it goes. So yes, I may have to need to hear from if I'm going to continue to do this. So anyway, today's show, I just wanted to talk about my funny flow weekend. I wanted to do a kind of like vlogging, and so yes, I'm just going to tell about that because I've told it to one of my friends and it was very funny. So yeah, let's see if you find it funny as well. So I started the weekend on Friday, not feeling very well. I've got a bit of a cold, and that was just starting feeling achy. And I had been at the hospital having my monthly shot, and that is to put me into an induced menopause for the month and it's every month, and it's been almost 3 years now. So it's for estrogen receptive breast cancer, metastatic breast cancer. And so that's why I have it, but now I'm tired of it and I would like to do something different. So I have a plan, but on Friday I was just feeling down about that. And I expressed that to my friends and I felt my feelings rather than trying to be positive. So that was something. And then after that, so yeah, I was not feeling good. I was like crying when I left the hospital, and I was really enjoying it too, actually, like just crying and as I left the hospital loudly and myself rather than trying to be positive. As I said, it's been 3 years of this, so it's a long time to be positive. And I've just been practicing that more and more to feel my feelings, because when we accept our feelings, then we don't have to fear them. And I heard this, that what you fear, you create or you attract. And I just experimenting with seeing how it goes in feeling my feelings. And so I did this with the last scans that I had. I had done lots of mindset work and affirmations and hypnotherapy and everything leading up to it, but just coming up to the scans, in the week before or the week of it, I was not focused on that, and I was just feeling whatever feelings came up and doing that instead. And yeah, the scans worked out well. So yes, I'll see how this goes. And I'm also going to be teaching this through the Heartfully Living course as well, about coming from the heart and feeling feelings too, because I used to teach this in Healthy and Powerfully Feminine as well, that when we feel our feelings, then we don't have to eat them, or we don't have to shop them or gamble them or whatever else it is we're doing to distract ourselves from actually feeling our feelings. And so, yes, that is why I was feeling my feelings on Friday. And then I watched Seinfeld's Comedians in Car Getting Coffee. After that, I watched a Metallica documentary on creating their next album. So that was my Friday night. And then on Saturday, I had chai with my mum, and she brought over oranges and lemons. And we went down the street to have the chai, so that was all fun. And then later I was going to help a friend to prioritize her schedule, because she told me she wanted to do a course because she was feeling overwhelmed about that. And I was like, well, this is what this is what I do. And so we met up and I could help her to schedule, and that was so much fun for me. And yeah, and then I went to, as I was driving there, I had a fight with an Indian family. So I'm half Indian as well. So, like, I'm allowed to say Indian family. So that doesn't have any any meaning other than that. I don't know if it's correct to say that or not, but I was driving to turn in the street and the light was green for me to go, and they were coming across the street. So I just gestured at them like, can you hurry up? Because it was flashing red for them and it was green for me. And they gestured back at me. And then when I got out of the car, I said, "What? Did you think like you had all the time in the world?" Or I don't know what I said, but we started like yelling at each other. and this went for a minute or so, and then went back. I went into the cafe, but I knew I'm in creative phase, which is the moon cycle. So the phase. So even though I'm not menstruating, I still found out I follow these 4 phases of the monthly cycle, which is really helpful, because then you can see why you're feeling a certain way at a different time of the month. So I knew, because I'm in creative phase, which for me is before the full moon, and this is usually what women know as, or men too, as PMS. So in this phase, you can often, you stop putting up with the things that you're putting up with the rest of the month, and that can manifest as being angry. So knowing that you're like that is very helpful, because then you don't have to prolong it too much or judge yourself for feeling that way. But I think it is actually that there's a lot of progesterone in a woman's body at that time, and that's why it has that makes her feel angry. So yes. So this is one of the phases, and that's also something that I will teach on both the Ease and Flow course in September, and also the Heartfully Living course in September. It will be a little bit of it, so that we just have that in mind as we plan and live our lives. So so that happened, and then what next? I went to the movies in Leederville and missed the film. I mean, it was sold out. It was supposed to be one on Orson Welles and his art, the film director and his art, and I missed that. And so instead I went to see whatever was on, which was this film called Booksmart, and I hated it so much I walked out after half an hour. And then I ended up going to just wandering around, like not knowing what to do, and then seeing my friend, is a guy friend at the bus stop with his 2 kids, hanging out with them, and for a couple of minutes till their bus came, and then going and having dinner by myself at a bar, and I ordered this kale, and it was supposed to be a superfood, and salmon salad, and it was such a bad salad because it was taste of onion. And imagine if you're actually going out at the bar, if you were just eating that, you would not be very happy to have that onion breath. But that was not the case for me. So I sat there with my journal for a little while and ate my oniony salad and salmon, and drank a glass of wine, and then went to go home. So it was about 7 p.m. and I was walking home, and I was at the traffic lights I was just standing at the traffic lights waiting to cross, and there was a man next to me, and there was these 2 people approaching, and the man next to me, he kind of looked at me and laughed, and I thought he was like trying to communicate something to me. So I looked at him, and then the couple said hi to him, and then they said hi to me, because they thought that we were together. And I was like, oh no, we don't know each other. And they're like, really? And then they said, oh, why? We're going for a drink. Why don't you come with us? So I went for a drink with these strangers that I had just met at the bus stop, at the traffic lights. And then so we went for this drink, and it was very funny because it wasn't like, they were really lovely people, and it was great, but I didn't want to stay for longer than a drink, and I don't think they wanted me to stay for longer than a drink either. And then that was really nice too. And we went to yeah, so after that, and it was just interesting to see the dynamics in the group. And I don't know, as a writer, that was interesting exploration for me as well, research. I like to be in these awkward situations sometimes. And yeah, so there was like the guy who I had originally met. He was catching up. They were all going to his ex-girlfriend's house afterwards, and she had really badly hurt him and betrayed him years ago. And then when he went to the bar, like the friends were saying, like, oh, Greg's drinking a lot again. Like, oh, he said to this kind of thing. It was just really fun to be a part of this and get the behind the scenes on complete strangers' lives. So after that, I went home, and as I was driving home, I was passing a place near where I went to school, and primary school, and I suddenly thought about these two guys that I went to school with that I used to see out sometimes. And I thought, how come I've never looked anyone from primary school up on Facebook ever? And so I thought I might look them up when I get home, since it was Saturday night. I was home by 10 p.m. And so, yes, I looked them up, and I saw this other guy's name on one of their pages, and he was someone I knew in primary school but didn't really know very well. And so I looked him up, and then I saw he looked really cool. He was living in Bali and was a personal trainer, and I really liked the style of his spare bedroom that he had for rent. So I I don't want to rent his spare bedroom, but I just thought he had really good style. So I was just like, found him interesting for that reason. So anyway, that's all I did. And then I went to sleep. And the next morning after my meditation, I thought I might look that guy up on Instagram. So that's what I did. And then I followed him, and then I messaged him, and I told him how I had found him, and that I had, and then, yeah, like, did he remember? I didn't ask, did he remember me? But I mentioned that we went to primary school together. And later in the day, he messaged me back, and then I thought I had nothing to lose. So I just said that I was coming. I knew he was living in Bali, and that I was coming there for a month in August, and did he want to catch up? So that was pretty funny. And I don't know, I haven't looked at my Instagram yet to see what he said. I'm kind of nervous too, because it's embarrassing. But anyway, I don't care. I got nothing to lose. There's no intention behind it. I'm just it could be fun. Seem like an interesting person. And yeah, so let's see. I'll keep you updated. And yeah, so then I caught up with my friend Alicia, and we were just chatting for hours in the sun about Instagram and online behavior and our books. And yeah, so that was really fun. And later I went into Fremantle, and I stopped at the markets and stopped at this Turkish tea stand and ate baklava. And then these regulars called me over, and I went over and sat with them, and we drank Turkish tea, which is delicious. It's Turkish Earl Grey tea. I'd never had it before, but it tastes like rose, and yeah, it's just really good and perfect with the sweet baklava as well. I had a pistachio and a walnut one as well. So that was my funny weekend, and yeah, it was full of fun and helping and being helped, and it was just a really wonderful experience. So that's my story, and I wanted to record this because I'm talking to another friend, Carla, later, and rather than repeat the stories that I already told to Vanessa yesterday, I thought I'd just record it, and then she can listen to it, and then we can just take it from there when we talk. So that's why I recorded this. And yeah, so that's my story. And in September coming up, I have 2 courses that I'm running. I've been thinking that I might actually run both of the courses if that flows. So one of the courses will be on ease and flow, and that is about pursuing your passion like a pro. So it's about setting up the systems and structures and creating that space in order to focus and be able to, whether it's a creative passion, an artistic pursuit. I have attracted lots of artists and creatives and business owners to my coaching business before, because that's what I do as well. So that's why, and I really have, I feel, mastered this area. From before starting my business, I was, didn't know how to run it in a way that was easy, not easy, but full of more ease, and had those systems and structures in place, because they say that having a business is like having a baby, and I definitely felt that. And then on top of that, running my life and emotionally with moving back to Perth and my health issues that I thought were cured, but then found out were not. So nowadays I have to manage all of this, and I do manage all of this in a way that feels good. So I want to share that with other people and help them to do that as well, to get out of ease and to get out of overwhelm and stress and create this ease and flow while they're pursuing their passions. So if you would like to be part of that, you can go to my website, www.mireilleparker.com/ease, EASE, -and-flow, FLOW. And that's where you can see the details, or you can join my mailing list, my newsletter community, and you will stay in touch there. You can even join up now if you want to. It should be all up and functioning now. That's one course that I'll be running from September. And the other course that I'll be running is the Heartfully Living course. So that is about cultivating love and creativity for a deeper experience of life. So this is for people who would like a deeper experience of life. And, because, just a second, because this has really been my true love, cultivating creativity, and it just has made life so much better and made me so much better. So I would love to share that with others too, who are also wanting to explore this more and have that time for themselves. I'll also, as I said, like in both courses, be outlining the 4 phases of the moon or monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, if you menstruate, or otherwise. It could even apply to men. I'm not sure. It's not going to be a solely focus on that. It will just be one part of it, and we'll implement it before we go through to the rest of the course. And the other thing that we're doing in this course is to be focusing on mind training and love and meditation as well. Both courses will have meditation, 30-day practice. So that's really important, because it's not just about knowing this stuff, it's about actually practicing it. And in both courses, you'll have the space and the accountability to do it. Both of them will be online. We'll be meeting once a week online in a Google Hangout, and then you'll have homework to do in between. It won't be more than an hour a day, maybe half an hour a day. And yes, and it will be exploring the different aspects, whether it is ease and flow or heartfully living, and coming from the heart and tuning into the heart energy as well. That will be heartfully living too, because the heart energy is intuition as well. So we'll be exploring that too. And so if you're interested in this course, you can go to www.mireilleparker.com, MIREILLEPARKER.com, and it should be there. It is there on the homepage. And so if you would love to be a part of that, join up there. You can join already now for September, for the small groups that I'm taking in September, or you can, again, get on the newsletter list and be part of the community to stay updated. So that's my update for today on my funny flow weekend. Hope it wasn't too random, and let me know if you enjoyed it. Please like and share and comment if you feel to, and if you would like to support me as well. So thank you so much, and I wish you a magical week. I will be recording another show on Wednesday, which will be on mastering the mind. So stay in touch and subscribe if you would like to receive that as well. So that's all for today. Bye for now. Bye.